In an ideal world, to get the most thrilling finish to any Ryder Cup match, you'd hope every match finished here on the 18th. In truth, they probably won't. We can keep our fingers crossed. It might happen on Sunday. Mark Rowe is with me to talk through 3 holes, because the ones you picked out are where you expect perhaps the matches to be decided.
Well, absolutely. It's a pivotal part of the golf course, and in talking to all the players, it is definitely the part that they are feeling will play the major part in the results of these matches. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through that stretch of holes, and let's have a look why they feel these are the toughest holes on the golf course.
So we're starting at the par 4 12th.
Yeah, we're starting at the par 4 12th. It's a great driving hole, the par 4 12th. And obviously we'll have a look at the tee shot there just to see the players will be down in that area there, driving across the corner of the water. The water itself is not actually in play from the tee shot in front of the tee, but as we see the ball in flight here, it certainly is in play on the left-hand side. That is obviously where you would love the tee shot to finally finish. You do not want to end up in there. If you're in there, you're going to struggle to carry the water for the second shot.
How deep's that bunker, roughly?
It's a small bunker. It's not so much that it's deep. It's just a very long carry from there, going over the water. And obviously you need a great strike, a great quality of strike to carry the water from there. That would be a really scary shot. Also over here, in this area, this is where the rough is at its thickest. So again, anything blocked out to the right, you've got serious problems about thinking whether the ball will come out the rough and carry the water.
And listening to the comments of the players, particularly Graham McDowell yesterday, he spoke about that rough and says it's going to punish wayward shots. Is that what you've seen out there?
It's absolutely brutal, especially when it's wet. Now obviously we see now we get up to the green. If the players obviously hit the centre of this green, which they'd like to do pretty much every day, then you're faced with the contours of the greens. You've got this slopes here towards the front of the green. You've actually got a false front here. Now anything short of that will be running back down towards the water. That's dangerous. It might not make it to the water, but still very, very tricky from down there.
So do these soggy conditions then, as they stand at the moment, favour players with greens like this? Is it going to make life simpler?
Well, always, if the fairways are wet and the greens are wet, obviously it is a little easier because the ball actually finishes where it lands, particularly when you're hitting across the fairways and towards the rough, it lands where it lands. If they're firm and bouncy, you've got the risk of it shooting off and finishing in a worse position. I have to say here, this green is particularly tricky, particularly slopey. I'm just going to highlight that bunker there. That is not where you want to go, because from that bunker, you're playing across the slope and back down towards the water, particularly if you have the front flag.
Right.
Which they will have a front flag there at some point. Other options for flag positions: back right corner, tricky one, and maybe back left corner as well. So they may well use those 3 flag positions during the week.
What kind of player is going to be enjoying this hole particularly, if that's possible?
Under pressure, probably none of them. This stretch is particularly tough. I mean, even for the guys at this level, it's a really tough stretch of golf. Now, once you get past there, obviously, you'd like a little bit of respite, but unfortunately then, you're heading to the par 3 13th.
And I'm gathering from what you're saying already, there's no respite here.
There's no respite on these 3 holes, definitely not. We'll watch the tee shot go there, and once it gets to the green, right, all carry over water, all visually intimidating, 189 yards. But once again, what you have here is this false front here. Right, anything short of there is going to get wet. It bounces back towards the water. If it doesn't make it down there, it's very thick in front of the green. So that's a horrible spot to be. But this spot here, the big no-no, the bunker left there, the green has a slight hump here. So if you're in that bunker, you are playing downhill towards the water. So again, that is a really tough bunker shot. And again, you will have the flag there. You'll see it at the front left portion. Anything long there, back towards the water, very tricky. And you will have the Sunday back flag, and you'll have one in the back left corner there. Those will almost certainly be the flag positions during the week, and it is a tough par 3. Once again, a 3 on that hole, particularly in foursomes, is fantastic. In 4 balls, well, you've got a couple of options there, so if you get 2 on the green, you might make a 2. But seriously, if you're making pars through this stretch, you shouldn't be losing too many of the holes. OK, so moving on to 14th. Now, I think I'm right in saying that Montgomery says this is his favourite hole. Absolutely.
Why?
It's such a strong par 4. It's a long par 4, and it is Monty's favourite hole, because I was speaking to him earlier. It really is a classic. It's a monster. It's a classic par 4. And I'm just going to stop there before the actual virtual ball heads off and just show you that here, this is the back tee. From here, it's 489. But just here, just beyond that and through that tree is a front tee. They will use this as an option. If you use the front tee...
What do you mean when you say they will use that as an option?
Well, they will use the front tee at some point. They won't play all 3 days from the back tee. They may play 1 day there, 2 times from the front tee. Depends on the course setup, obviously. It depends what Colin wants. It depends what the players say. But from that tee there, you can actually drive the ball over the lake into that area in front of the green. That's 265 to carry the lake. That's where you'll see the players. From there, it's just a wedge shot in. But it's a very tight tee shot over there, and it's a brave tee shot.
And what's waiting on the green? Should you be there next?
We'll get there in a second. We'll just see the virtual ball here fly through. Now, where this lands is a very long tee shot. It's almost a sort of Dustin Johnson, Bubba Watson length tee shot, where the Europeans and some of the not-so-long hitters, because they have got some monster hitters on their team, they'll be landing in that area. I'm just going to expand that a little bit over there. That is the elbow of the dog leg. That is where you really want to hit it. Some players may choose to hit a 3-wood and be a little shorter, but it's basically a drive to that point and then a mid-iron. From there, you're coming across the water, and this is the bit that you're talking about. This is the really scary bit. That is all the way over there, all the way over the corner water. Now, that face on the left-hand side of the green, across there, that's a no-go zone.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's rocks. It's straight back in the water.
There is no forgiveness there.
There is no forgiveness. There is. That's lost hole. You go down there. That's lost hole. And again, you will see the flag positions in those areas there. Those left flag positions, they're the scary ones. They're the treacherous ones. Back in here, there is a runoff behind the green. That's a tricky chip from down there. But basically, that whole stretch is monstrous, and it will decide the Ryder Cup for sure. Get through this stretch of golf in par, under par, particularly in foursomes, a couple of birdies in there in 4 balls, and believe me, you are going to be beating them.
Is this what they say all the time in the press conferences, the ultimate in risk and reward golf?
Well, it really is. This stretch is pure ball striking. This is quality. When you move on to 15, you have a risk and reward par 4 that you can actually go for the green. But you have got to play well here. You make mistakes here. You hit it in the rough, you can't make the greens. You hit it in the water, you're Deadsville. It's basically, this is pivotal. All the players are saying this is their favourite part of the golf course, but it is the toughest part.
To play your good golf in a Ryder Cup is always a massive challenge. To play well on this course is an immense challenge. Mark, thanks very much.